In the days when the earth was still young, when the dust of Eden had barely settled, two brothers walked upon the land that their parents once tended with innocence. Their names were Cain and Abel. They grew under the shadow of a world that had changed forever. Adam and Eve had already tasted the consequence of disobedience, and their sons, born outside the garden, grew up feeling the weight of a world that was no longer perfect. The scripture says little about their childhood, yet you can almost imagine the quiet moments. The stories Adam told by firelight, the warnings Eve whispered with a trembling voice, and the distant memory of a place where God once walked with them in the cool of the day. As they became men, the brothers chose different paths. Abel became a shepherd, watching over flocks that wandered through open fields. He learned patience. He learned gentleness. He learned what it meant to guide something weaker than himself. Cain, the firstborn, became a farmer. He pressed his hands into harsh ground, breaking the soil that resisted him. Every plant he raised came through sweat, labor, and frustration. The earth had been cursed, and Cain felt that curse in every season. Yet both men knew one truth: God must be honored. A sacrifice was part of worship, a way to acknowledge the Creator who gave them breath. And so, a day came when both brothers brought their offerings. Cain brought the produce of the land, fruits grown by his own effort, harvest he had pulled from stubborn earth. Abel brought the firstborn of his flock, the best he had, a gift chosen with care. Now here is the part most people overlook. The issue was not that Cain brought plants, and Abel brought an animal. The deeper truth was this: Abel gave with faith and surrender. Cain gave with pride and self-confidence. The ancient story tells us that God looked upon Abel's offering with favor, not because of the type of gift, but because of the heart behind it. Abel offered what was precious to him. He gave the first, not the leftover. He gave with trust. Cain, however, gave something, yes, but not the best, not the first, not with humility. And when God accepted Abel's offering but did not accept Cain's, the firstborn felt something rise inside him, a fire he had never known before. Anger, disappointment, jealousy, a wound to his pride. God saw this and spoke to Cain, almost like a father speaking to a son who has lost his way. He said, "Why are you angry? If you do what is right, you will be accepted. But if you do not, sin is crouching at your door. It desires to control you, but you must master it." These words were not a rejection. They were a warning, a chance to turn back, a chance to rise instead of fall. But Cain did not listen. His anger grew heavier. His thoughts became darker. And on a quiet day, in an open field, he allowed that anger to lead him where it should never have taken him. The moment that followed changed human history. It was the first time a human acted out of uncontrolled rage. Abel's voice, the scripture says, cried out from the ground to God, not to condemn Cain, but to show that life has a voice and justice has a witness. Then God came to Cain again. He did not shout. He did not destroy him. Instead, he asked a question: "Where is your brother?" A question meant to awaken conscience. But Cain answered with coldness, "Am I my brother's keeper?" In that moment, the true reason behind his rejected offering became clear. Cain's heart was not surrendered, not humble, not open, not willing to be corrected. The offering was only a symbol. The heart was the real issue. And God said, "Your brother's voice calls to me. The ground you worked will no longer yield its strength to you. You will be restless on the earth." But even here, in a moment of judgment, God showed mercy. Cain feared the consequences. He feared others would harm him. And God placed a mark, a sign of protection, so no one would destroy him. Even after failure, God still cared for him. And so the story teaches us a truth deeper than the offering. God does not look at the gift first. He looks at the heart that brings it. Abel's gift came from trust, honor, and surrender. Cain's came from effort, pride, and frustration. And that difference, that invisible difference, was enough to change everything. It is a story not only about two brothers, but about every human heart. Because even now, every act of giving, every act of worship, every step of faith still begins in that same place, the heart. And the voice of this ancient story whispers to all who hear it: do right, give honestly, walk humbly, master the anger before it masters you. For God does not reject the person. He only rejects the heart that refuses to listen.